So what I'm seeing on the news is that basically all of America is now practicing social distancing. New York City, LA are on lockdown, basically ghost towns now. For me, this is really strange to see because Shenzhen, China, where I live, has been on lockdown for over 2 months now. Here in China, all of the confirmed cases of infection have been published on an applet inside of WeChat, and WeChat is the app that basically everybody in China uses for communicating and paying for stuff. Through this app, I've watched the virus overtake the city, and now finally, thankfully, I'm watching it recede. In fact, there's so few new cases that the majority of new cases are from people coming from other countries into China. Because I've been living in this outbreak for 2 months more than anybody in America, I am now an expert. Oh, no, obviously 2 months does not make an expert. So what I want to do is show you the things that I've been doing to try and keep myself safe, and hopefully some of it is useful to you. Before I go out, I put on all my protective gear. Rule number 1. Try not to touch your face when you're outside. To help remind myself, I wear gloves. Gloves, super useful at reminding yourself not to touch your face, and they keep your hands clean. I wear a respirator. This one is a P100, a little bit better than an N95. Respirators, really useful for reminding yourself not to touch your face. And also here in China, people like to see you wearing a mask. If you're not wearing a mask, that means you're likely to infect others. It's believed that it may be possible to get infected through your eyes from people around you sneezing or whatever, so I wear safety glasses. Where I live, we have this big electronic locker box system. However, recently they're not always letting the delivery people into the housing area, so now they're starting to put the boxes into a big pile. Because everybody's staying at home, a lot of places have had to set up tents to manage all the extra delivered boxes. The most stressful part of going out of the apartment is the part where I come back in, because I don't want to bring this virus home. The first thing I do is I dip my gloves and my house key into sanitizing solution. Next, I wipe down all my packages and groceries. I try to keep all my sanitized things separate from the non-sanitized. It's super important to wipe down your phone. It's kind of like your third hand. Constantly touch. Normally I'm not that nervous when I use a knife. However, this is a really bad time to go to the hospital. It's my understanding that sunlight breaks down the DNA of the virus, so I place all my outdoor clothes in the sun. If I was more energetic, I would wash all my clothes. However, I'm not always so energetic. I made this sanitizing solution with information I found on the website for the Center for Disease Control. I will leave a link in the show notes. If you decide to make your own sanitizing solution, the first thing I have to say is be careful. Bleach is nasty stuff. It will eat your flesh. So wear gloves, eye protection, and work in a well-ventilated area. The recipes range from 1 cup of bleach to 1 gallon of water to 1 cup of bleach to 5 gallons of water, depending on the application. As an American, I've always grown up using freedom units, such as inches, pounds, and slugs. However, for this application, I find the metric system super useful because 1 milliliter of liquid is roughly equal to 1 gram, and 1 liter of liquid is roughly equal to a kilogram. At this moment, grocery shopping is surprisingly stressful. This is the thing I do that is probably the most dangerous. I suppose you should always wash your vegetables. However, now you need to wash your vegetables extra carefully. Back in America, I've got plenty of crazy old people in my family, and China is no different than America. Like this guy, who for some reason cannot seem to get the mask over his nose. I hope he did not sneeze on my tomatoes. Officially, Shenzhen is back to work, however, things are not exactly normal. At this moment, the security guards are instructed not to let us have visitors come to our apartment. All the bars and nightclubs are closed. Somehow, it's just not as crazy and busy as it normally is, the way I like it. Alright, that's all guys. See you next time.